Hey everyone, welcome to the Figure Spotlight. If you haven't met me before, my name is Aaron and I am a collector in figurines, video games, and any type of things that I like to share with you guys. Today is a special day. Today is the release of the Xbox Series X. And I happened to actually pick one of those up, luckily, through a pre-order when it was originally announced for the Xbox. So, really excited, just picked it up today, kind of using this as my early birthday as it is coming up in a couple days. But also my early Christmas present. So really excited to have it, just picked it up this morning and I can't wait to unbox it and show everyone. So here is the Xbox Series X. It's pretty heavy actually, I haven't opened it. Boom, there it is. It's actually in a pretty big box as you can see. Pretty cool. Definitely gonna unbox this. Before we do that, let's look at some of the previous Xbox models real quick. So I have every Xbox console. I've always loved Xbox due to, originally Halo was one of my favorite games, and also Gears of War and some other games that are on there as well. But let's look at the original Xbox. And they're going to go through these pretty quick. So here is the first generation Xbox, the original one here. And it actually has an X on it with the Xbox logo there. So really cool, very old school. We'll definitely put it next to each other and we'll definitely compare it side by side as in, the size of this. So, pretty cool for first generation. Let's move on to the next one. So the second generation was the Xbox 360. So here is the original white here that you guys can see. Very cool for the time. Played a lot of Halo on this thing. Never got the red ring of death that a lot of people got, so I was fortunate. Even though I did play this a lot. So, but this is the original Xbox 360, and then I did eventually get the slim version, which I'll show you here, which is a little bit smaller for the 360 Pro. So pretty cool. Use this a lot. Actually, I probably have used this out of all my Xbox consoles I've ever played was the 360 platform. I did play a lot on. From there, then they came out with the Xbox One. This is the day one edition, so on launch they did reveal this out, and there's really no information that shows you this is day one edition, except if you have the controller and you have the achievement for actually being on day one, which I do have the controller here, where it says day one edition right there. On there. That was in 2013. So, pretty cool. Now, I still have the controller for it, never got rid of it. But this is the day one edition Xbox One. So then, in 2017, they were coming out with the Xbox One X. Now, I got the Scorpio edition, which was the project name for this project. And it says here Project Scorpio right there on the end. So I'll show you that on camera. So very cool, but this is you can see how it has this radiant effect where it goes from light gray to black. That's also unique to the Project Scorpio model, but pretty cool for this Xbox One X. And this was the current and newest one that I had. This was from 2017. This was also on launch on the same day, which is really cool, November 10th of 2017. So cool thing is well, it is now 2020, and we got that new Xbox One X on November 10th. So let's definitely let's go ahead and start unboxing this. This is gonna be my first time checking it out, and then when we have it unboxed, we can definitely compare with the other consoles and size-wise, and also the controllers. All right, let's get this thing back on the table. All right, let's take a look at this box. So the cool thing about this box here is you can see here. The Xbox here is just, it shows the top of it with the green. I'm actually really excited to see that in person, which I'm talking about is right here. When you move it around, it should change a little bit or turn more dark. Just the way it's angled, it's gonna visually show something different. Right here we have where it says Series X, which is the biggest platform you can get. It's the most powerful platform. Then the S series, which is only digital. Also, it doesn't have the power output compared to the X version here. Over here on the bottom, you can see here that it says 4K 120 FPS, and it has a 1TB SSD, which is going to be really cool to see. And I want to see the improvement of this uploading of the information there for the video games. On the side here, we have a lot of great stats here listed. So let's look at each one of those. So the first one here is the 4K 120 FPS. And we have the 8K HDR. Another thing here is the Xbox Velocity architecture. And then we have the 1TB of solid state drive, as I mentioned before. Variable refresh rate and 4K Blu-ray built in. So really cool. Those are some of the stats, major stats anyways. We here have says includes the console and the wireless controller. It does come with the ultra high speed HDMI and a wireless networking capability where you can use it wirelessly Wi-Fi. This is one of the games I'm excited to wait for, which is the new Halo, with a great quote here that says, "Power your dreams." So I can't wait for Halo Infinite, I think is what it's called. I know it was delayed and it's kind of unfortunate. I would love to play on the day of the release of the Xbox One X. But I'm going to go ahead and play Gears 5 as I have not finished it, so I'm going to start over and try it out on the Xbox Series X here. So here's just some more information here. It talks about the Game Pass, played thousands of games, access for generations of Xbox. So that's something I definitely want to try out. Trying all different types of games from different generations. So I do have, original Xbox games, 360 games. I also have the normal Xbox One games. I'm going to go ahead and try them and see how well this works. I'm actually really excited to try that out because the PlayStation doesn't offer anything like that for the PS5. So really cool. On the top, it just shows the picture of the Xbox, kind of what it looks like next to the controller. And then on the bottom is just a whole bunch of information. So we're not going to go through that. So the cool thing about these stickers, it is taped on the box on where you open it. They actually have these pull tabs here. I'll kind of show you on the camera there. It is a pull tab setup, so you don't have to use a knife to cut these. I've seen some people go ahead and just cut them open. I think you should probably pull these off. I think it will help secure and keep the box in better condition. Let's try it and see how well this does it. So hopefully it doesn't leave adhesive. That's the thing I hate about tape, leaving adhesive on the box. It is actually really strong, but it's coming off, not too bad. Okay, not too bad. Didn't take off any of the color or anything off the box, and it came right off. So that's the tape. You can see there's an arrow there you can pull off to open this box. So you do not need a knife, which is really cool. So they even thought of that. So let's find the other tape, which there is, I think, 4 tapes last time I looked. Alright, that one comes off. And then I think you lay it on its bottom. Yep, there is tape down here on the bottom. There's 2 of them. Just go ahead and pull those down. Maybe pull it up a little bit. Alright, got one more. Alright, ooh, slides open. So we got the tape removed. But this is where the magic happens, everyone. We unbox it, see the console. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. So it just swings right open, really cool. Nothing too particular up here besides the styrofoam, but right here when you see it, it does say, "Power your dreams." Look at that right there on the box. Look at how it's packaged too, really cool. So also, this is a very unique box design. You don't see this typically in a console box like this, so this is definitely different than normal. So the presentation on this is pretty cool. You don't really typically see this. So I guess what you're going to do here is just pull out the console. The console's got some weight to it. Okay. Alright, so we'll put that to the side. In the bottom here, let's see what we got. Getting started. So we have a great starting guide right here, which will show you the Xbox, the controller, uses batteries, and kind of giving you a quick start on what to do. So great information there. This looks like it pops open, so I'll just pull that up. Oh, it's getting stuck there. There we go. Got a little storage compartment here, so let's check this out. Here is our very fast HDMI cable that comes with the Xbox. You're definitely going to need that for your nice 4K TVs. Here is the power cable, which will hook into your power brick. If it has one, it should have one. This might be it. Oh, that's the controller actually. So here is the controller. It is wrapped really nice. We'll take a look at that here in a second. Oh, there is no power brick, so it just plugs in. The power brick must be the battery part must be plugged in into the console. So it's just direct plug in. I don't see a power brick here. There's also a little manual here that you could read, or maybe the disclaimers. We're definitely not going to look at that. Check underneath the styrofoam. Nothing too fancy in there. So that is about it. So let's close this up. Boom. Let's put this back in here. I don't need the instructions. I know what I'm doing. I hope I do anyways. Got back in there. And let's shut this. And boom. Alright, let's make room for this bad boy here. Okay, so I'm going to assume that maybe one of these sides, I probably have it upside down or one or the other, but I'm just going to slide this off because I don't want to damage it. Just a simple box that just goes around it, where it says Power Your Dreams. I'll probably keep that in the box. This is what covers everything for the actual console. Let's see if I can preserve this. The tape comes off pretty easy, which is good. And I am going to try to slide it out, and I do have it upside down. Well, they might be ripping a little bit, so maybe let's try doing it this way. Let's see if I can. There we go. Whoa. There it is. Actually smaller than I thought it was. Everyone made it seem like it was huge. I'm not sure if you guys saw the fridge joke from Xbox. It's pretty funny actually. They actually made an actual life-size fridge of this, and they actually gave some away, which is pretty cool. And definitely look that up from Xbox or maybe YouTube or whatever. But there is an actual live, real fridge of this Xbox that people have actually been getting. So really cool. So first glance, like I said, it's actually a lot smaller than you think. Here's the original Xbox. Let's do a size comparison. So of course the Xbox, sits more down, so it's definitely a lot taller. But when you put it side by side next to it, obviously it's not. It's the same width of it, and if you put it down, maybe I should put it like this. You can see it just sits a bit taller than the Xbox, which is really cool. Now the Xbox Series X here is obviously, I'm going to keep it up. I think it looks really cool standing up. But this is kind of shows you from the original Xbox. I think the closest one that I have to this size will be the Xbox 360 Slim version. As you can see, it's almost the same height here, just standing up. It's obviously a lot longer, but really cool. It's actually smaller compared to I really want to see it compared to the PS5. I've seen some pictures and videos. Here's the Xbox One X. I don't know if you want to see the difference there. So of course this one's a lot, not the same height. This one's a lot skinnier compared to when laying down. So you can see the difference of height here. I can show you on the side view. So there's a big difference there. But very cool though. Alright, so I showed you some examples of kind of the size, comparison between the previous Xboxes and stuff like that. This one's definitely more like a I guess you can call it I don't know, a brick. But it's more squared, and you know, it lives to the Xbox name. It's a box, and I like it a lot. Now the cool thing about here is the top. Now depending on how you look at the top of this, you'll see the green. You can kind of see how it changes, which is really cool. So depending on how you walk and move, you're going to see the green. So I would like to keep this up, especially when people are walking around. You should definitely show this off. A very cool feature. This is where the large fan lives to help ventilate this Xbox One. Not Xbox One, I keep saying that sometimes. It's Xbox Series X, this fan here. Alright, so let's looking at it closer. Of course, on one side here we have these little dots here. I'm not sure if you can see those, but these dots here are going to help it with actually putting it and laying it sideways. So if you do want to lay it sideways, you can. So really cool that you can do that. Gives you different opportunities of where to put it. If it's in your entertainment stand or if it's on above the stand, you can lay it different configurations. I'm going to put mine straight up because I think it looks cooler. Next thing here is the logo. We have the turn on button right there. All the way in the top corner. We have where you insert the discs. And we have, looks like the controller button right here, and you have your CD eject button right here. So controller button there, and eject. We do have a USB port right there, only one up front. And then on the back, we do have 2 USB ports here that are SS. We do have the storage expansion. This is expensive, but it is through Seagate. Solid state drive. It's definitely, I think, something that I might invest in the future. But it's definitely going to help you get you more memory for this system. That's a great advantage that the Xbox has over the PS5. But the downside to it is it's expensive, like $200 expensive. Looks like we have the Ethernet cord here, and HDMI, and the power outlet. So then we have some additional vents here. We have information here for the HDMI ports. And besides that, I think that is it. That is the Xbox Series X. Very cool. You can see the fan in the back here. Really cool. So we're done looking at the box here. Let's go ahead and move into the controllers. So let's open this bad boy up. So from what I've heard, it's textured. So I really want to see if that's true or not. And it does have batteries. That's kind of the downside to the Xbox Series X controllers. Some people still like batteries, which is fine. But I believe, you know, if they had actual batteries in them that were maybe kind of like removable, where you can charge them up with Type-C ports, which would be a lot better. But this does use a Type-C, which is pretty cool as well. So wow, this is a completely different feel. Holy moly, it is textured, just like what a lot of people have been saying. I don't think you guys, maybe you can see this, I'll try to put in the camera there. If you look closely at the controller there, you'll see it's textured in the back, and it is actually a really great feeling. It doesn't feel slippery at all. Now if you have like an Xbox One controller, and let me find my Xbox One controller. This is my day one, 2013. You know, this is 7 years ago. The design is almost basically similar, but it's very cheapy plastic, like on the controller. You don't have that texture or the nice feel of it. So if you look at this here, this is just pure plastic. I'm not sure if you can see the difference there in the camera, but it's just very, like, I don't know, cheap plastic. Let me see if it makes different noise. So it's a little bit different tone, yeah. So, but it is very. If you have an Xbox One controller and you get an Xbox Series X controller, definitely, you know, compare them. It's a huge difference. Also, the D-pad has changed. It's got the new D-pad on there. So it's got the part where it has it where you can hold it in different positions a little bit better. Whereas this one here is just 4 points. You can see on the Xbox One, got up, down, left, right. But this is the 2017 version. Let me compare it with the Project Scorpio. So this Project Scorpio actually has a very nice feel as well. It's got a little bit of texture. Not as much as the Series X though. Like there's still a huge difference between the two. It still feels like plastic. Like, I mean, they're all plastic, but I mean, like this one still feels, kind of like not as. This one feels just cheap. I don't know how to explain it. This one feels really cheap from Xbox, One. When you go to Xbox One X, it's a lot better quality. It feels more stronger too on this. And the quality of it, this feels a little bit better. Whatever material they used or the texture to it, that helped it. So, but yeah, so there's a big difference on the texture. Let's see if I can feel anything else. It feels lighter. Maybe it's because I don't have the batteries in it. Let's put the batteries in it. Let's see if we can compare the batteries on the back. Do they actually use the same backs? It definitely looks exactly the same. Nothing has changed for the back pieces where the battery goes. You probably could just swap it over. Yes, you can. Actually, you cannot swap it over. The tabs are different up top. They're positioned differently, so you cannot swap them over. So you can kind of see that there. They're in different positions, so you can't take an Xbox One X and Xbox Series X, even though they're the same design for the most part. The top pieces up here are different, so they align differently, so you cannot do that, which is good. You don't want to use the Xbox One X anyways. Alright, let's switch and put this on. So it comes with two, looks like Duracell OEM batteries. It says on here, not for retail sale. So interesting. Little fact there. Alright, so we got the minus sign, plus sign. Got the controller in. Let's see if it feels the same as the other Xbox controllers. So we add the battery. Now it has a little bit of extra weight. I can feel it now. Now if I compare it with this other one, let's see if it feels the same. Yes. So adding the batteries, pretty much it feels exactly the same as weight-wise of the controller, maybe a tad lighter. I doubt it. Also, there is a new button in the middle here. So when you look at the Project Scorpio's controller here, you can see right there in the middle, there's two buttons, right? You have the, I think it's a screen where you go back to the home, and you have like a menu button on there. You have those same buttons on the new Xbox Series X, but you can see there's a third one. That third one is the new share button. So I think that's going to be a great feature to have, especially if you're trying to record, something you captured while shooting something down, or a really cool gameplay that you did, that you can share it real quick. All right, let's look at the buttons here. So any changes to the buttons? This actually, on these triggers here, they look like they're a little bit less pointier. Maybe a little bit shorter. It looks like they rounded off the edges here. Compare it on here. They rounded them off just a little bit. It's very hard to tell. But for the most part, it really looks very similar to what it has. So another cool thing about these Xbox One controllers. Now, I believe all of these, the regular Xbox One, the Xbox One X, and the Xbox Series X, all these controllers can pair with the Xbox Series X. So as long as you have an Xbox One controller in any series, you will be able to use those controllers on here, and I will test that and make sure that's true. But very cool. The buttons feel great. Feels like just like a normal Xbox controller, but I really do love the new texture feel to it. It feels so much more grippier and more controllable. All right, so we're done with that. We have everything here. That is the unboxing of the Xbox. Let's go and look at the other controllers. I almost forgot about those. So we have the Xbox Series X, which is the newest one, right? Very cool. Then we go to the Xbox One X. About the same thing, missing a couple buttons, a little bit of texture on it, not as much as the Series X. Then we go to the Xbox One, which feels just like all plastic, but still a good controller, it works really well. Then we go to the Xbox 360. I don't have the original controller, unfortunately. I don't know what happened to it. But I do have a limited edition Halo Reach controller. I used to have the console for this. I think I sold it at one point, and then I got the regular 360 console. But that's what the 360 controller looks like. Kind of similar to what we have, but also a lot of things have changed on this layout too. So it just feels, it feels really nice when you think about it. For how old it is, it still feels like an Xbox controller. So if you look at the design differences here, I mean from this one to the Xbox Series X, they're very similar or very close to what you're gonna feel going from Xbox 360 to any of the Xbox One. There's a major improvements definitely in buttons and stuff like that, but also it's a tad smaller, but really cool. And then you just have this bad boy. Now if you really want to see the original Xbox controller, it's wired. Very big. Look at those buttons and the way it's set up there. It's even got this is the memory card. So you got the memory card in there. But Xbox controller here, really cool. The original one. And you can see here we have the white and black buttons here. That's pretty neat. I forgot what even those do. It's been so long since I even played the original Xbox. But very cool. Still has that Xbox feel, same with the buttons. It's just a lot bigger, a little bit more distance between it. So that's the different generations of controllers for the Xbox Series. All the way from the original Xbox all the way to the new Xbox Series X. So what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to go ahead and plug this in. Let me get it all set up. I'll probably maybe try to do another review, seeing after I get some time with it myself and test a few things, and I'll update you guys what I think about the new Xbox Series X. Also, just want to say thank you guys if you watched this whole video and you saw the unboxing and went through all my Xboxes here. Write in the comments your favorite Xbox game. Is it Halo? Is it Fable? I mean, is there a specific title you guys always love playing on the Xbox? Write it down in the comments before. And if you haven't done so yet, go ahead and please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it and supporting my channel as I am trying to do more videos slowly at a time. So, anyways, thanks for watching the Figure Spotlight. This is Aaron, and I appreciate everything you guys do and supporting me, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.